Adelaide Hills is an idyllic setting for horsekeeping, and this is reflected by the numbers of horses kept privately or through horse agistment services. The Hills host many competitions and clubs, attracting horse owners from within and outside the region. The Adelaide Hills also has space for horses, and the higher rainfall and cooler climate provide the right conditions for pastures to grow and thrive. Horses are beautiful animals, but as large, heavy-hooved mammals, they can leave their mark on the landscape. In South Australia, this has been recognised by lawmakers and planners, and has led to the development and implementation of state and local planning policies specific to horsekeeping.
Good horse husbandry involves not only caring and providing for horses, but also managing their impact on land and water.
This is significant, for the Adelaide Hills overlies an important water supply catchment for Greater Adelaide. Good land management is important for horse welfare and the environment. Annual grasses such as rye can be pulled out by a grazing horse, roots and all, depleting the pasture and exposing and destabilising the top layers of soil. Perennial pastures are a sturdier option for the Adelaide Hills. They're deep-rooted, therefore they're more stable in the soil. Ideally, pastures should be maintained with a minimum of 70% ground cover in all horse pastures. Encouraging up to 100% perennial pasture cover can be achieved by rotating pastures, lowering the numbers of horses in any one paddock, providing supplementary feeding and weed control. This will also reduce the risk of fatal illnesses, such as sand colic.
Naturally, horses prefer to graze all day. Most of the pastures around here in the Adelaide Hills have been sown with exotic, high-sugar grasses, which are really good for production of cattle and sheep. Horses grazing these exotic pastures are at risk of health issues relating to laminitis and diabetes. So perennial native grasses are a really good alternative for horses because of their low non-structural carbohydrates or low sugars. There are many cool and warm season native grass species that can be sown for horse pastures, including wallaby grass and weeping rice grass in the cooler months, and kangaroo grass and windmill grass in the warmer months. They're not only good for sustaining horse health, but they grow well in our low nutrient soils. They're also drought and heat tolerant and have deep root systems, which are beneficial for soil health and will minimise erosion.
It's not uncommon to see bags of horse manure on roadsides for sale or to give away. This is one way horse owners manage manures.
If not appropriately managed, nutrients from horse manure can leave a property through runoff from paddocks and washdown areas and stormwater runoff. There are a number of requirements regarding the location and storage of manure and washdown areas. These are set out in the state's Planning and Design Code. To find out more, please contact the planners at Adelaide Hills Council.
Another option for managing horse manure are dung beetles. Dung beetles are used throughout the Adelaide Hills and Fleurieu for managing livestock manure. They manage manure by burrowing and tunnelling through it, breaking it up and incorporating it into soil. They also make the manure unfavourable for blowflies to lay eggs and produce larvae.
Dung beetles are a good solution, but they are sensitive to some veterinary chemicals, including some drenches. There are reference books available, written by local experts, that detail which chemicals complement dung beetles and which don't.
If your property is unable to adequately meet all of the requirements of the planning code, consider agistment. There's a number of facilities in the Adelaide Hills that can agist your horse and include up to full service if that's what you require. Additionally, you'll know that the land and water is cared for and all of the code requirements are met.
The Adelaide Hills is a great place to raise horses. Horse welfare and good land management practices go hand in hand. Why not consider innovations such as native grasses for pastures and dung beetles for managing manures? There are some extensive regulations in relation to keeping of horses, but great resources are available from Council and Horse SA. You can find out more information in this leaflet prepared by the Adelaide Hills Council with input from Council's Rural Land Management Advisory Group. They're available online and in the Adelaide Hills Council libraries and community centres across our district.